Good day, YouTube. It is the 5th of July, 2024. Happy 4th of July to you all. I know you're watching this thing in September sometime because I actually film and post about 2 months apart. That helps you, helps me, keeps things flowing and steady and so forth. And done a couple videos on this tractor. I've only had it 5, maybe 6 weeks, something like that. Can't remember. And then a few days ago, I picked up this big mower. This is a Rears Manufacturing Bushwhacker. What do they call these things? A rotary cutter. Okay. I got this thing for, believe it or not, $100 because the rear wheel had fallen apart. They'd run the bearings till they would run no more, and the wheel came off the spindle with the dust cap still in place. I was able to knock the races out, go get replacement bearings and a seal and everything, put it back together. This wheel is 100%. That shaft right there bent just a little bit. I don't think it's going to bother anything. We're going to leave it. It would have to cut it out and replace it. I don't think I could straighten it, even on my little 20-ton press over there. But when I went to hook this up this morning, on my last video actually, I had just recently completed all fluids flush and changed in this old girl, and the hydraulics wouldn't do anything. I mean, zero, nothing, they wouldn't move. So, perplexed, I put a help me post on the groups page for the Golden Jubilee Tractors and NAA Tractors, and said, man, what am I missing here? And a couple nice gentlemen jumped in there and says, you need to purge the air out of your pump. And, you know, that makes total sense. So I said 2 ways to do it. One, you could take a plug out of the pump and then crank the engine over, kind of purges the air out. Or two, put some air in where the dipstick goes in while you're running it. So we'll pull a dipstick. It's right there at the top. Nice, clean fluid. That 303 bucket right there, that's the fluid I put in it. I had that left over from my John Deere 140s. Actually, I had 2 of those buckets because they needed flushed out too. They had a lot of moisture in them. And they work fine, and those tractors should work fine in this. I think it's fine. It's a universal tractor fluid, hydraulic, whatever. So we're going to do what was suggested. Got the air hose sitting here. I've got the dipstick out. We need to start the tractor and run it. We've got the hydraulic lever in about medium position because, you know, once it gets the air out of it, it should go on its own. I think I'll put you guys back here where you can keep your eyes on the hydraulics. And as soon as they work, I'm going to hoop and holler. That's all we're going to do today. We'll come back tomorrow and hook the mower up. It's 100 degrees outside, and it's destined for 103 tomorrow, I believe. 104, something like that. You know, with the doors open on my shop, though, on this barn, I got 3 ceiling fans going up there. It ain't bad. It really isn't. If I opened up the other door on the south end over there, I would pull a breeze through here real nice. But I'm not going to be here that long to fiddle with it. So, okay, let's start this up and commence to blow in a little bit of air. I'm going to get crazy. I actually didn't pump the compressor all the way up. Okay, I'm just moving you so you can see me pumping a little air. So if you have this issue and this works, and it seems like it would, right? We're just trying to move some fluid into where there's an air pocket of some sort. So neutral, key on, a little throttle, some chokage, fire in a hole. Don't mind that alternator belt. It's not happening. give up here in a minute. Shut up! Shut up! I think it's got oil on it. Thank you. Okay. Here we go. Little air. Try it with it not running. Be careful if you release the pressure. When I removed this rubber tip nozzle, boy, she spewed straight at me. Safety glasses. Trying it again. Alright, let's try it out. Just restart. Key on. Still in neutral. Arnold. Well, plan B is to pull this plug out of the side of the pump and see if that'll release the air out of there. We're not making it. We are not making it. All right. So the other way was again to pull the plug, which I just pulled, out of the pump and pour fluid in it while you crank the engine over. So, you know, these will crank over. If you don't turn the key on, it won't start. So we could do that. I'm going to grab this bucket of hydraulic oil and fill it up. Try and get the air out, I guess. I guess cranking it, we should be able to see movement if the pump's picking fluid. Okay, Ford, drink up, buddy. We're gonna drip it on the floor, aren't we? Yep. Okay, we're gonna crank it now. Got lots of air out. Still running on the floor. Crank it. Wow. Okay. Hang on. Grease sweep going down. That'll absorb it. I don't think we need to put any fluid in it. Wow. Because, but I saw air coming out. I saw air coming out. Let's crank it again. That looks like fluid. I'd say we have circulation. Let's stick the plug back in and see what happens. Leave it a little hand tight there. We're moving, boys. We're moving. Woo! Tighten her down. Right on. Right on, right on, right on. Yep. I guess we could take the air hose out. Put the dip sticker back in. Sit there. And now we'll fire it back up. Fire back up. Let's back you out of there. There we go. All right, Ford. Fire in a hole, buddy. Probably flooded now, right? No problem. still. But we'll let it sit all night. See if it can sort out on its own there. And maybe we put a little weight on it. Maybe it'll become happier. Or maybe it doesn't like the fluid I put in it. Or, I don't know. But they're working. Alright, catch you guys in the morning. And we're going to hook this brush hog up. And we don't have anything to cut with it, but we're going to make sure that it works. See you tomorrow. Alright guys, it is the next day. Got up early this morning. Got up at 5, went out to the lumberjack breakfast. Every 4th of July weekend, our local Lions Club puts on a pancake feed, if you will. They've been doing it for decades and decades. Back when Albany, Oregon, we had the Northwest Timber Championships, or Timber Carnival as we called it. That dried up many years ago, 20 years ago or something, but the lumberjack breakfast has continued, and it's very, very, very popular. I'm sure they serve 10 or 20,000 breakfasts in 4 days. Big deal. They open at 6. I was there 10 minutes to 6 this morning, and was one of the first ones through the line. Line can get pretty long in the mornings. I think it's time we hook the tractor up to this mower so that we can finish our kind of once-over of this mower. Make sure it's going to be mowable, something like that. Alright, so cold starts, fire the tractor up, turn it around, back it up, see if we can get it lined up, and yeah, go from there. Okay, Ford, now that your hydraulics are working and most of the mess that I made is dripped off onto the floor overnight, that's good. Yeah. Supposed to get to 104 today. How fun will that be? Let's get our work done early. that exhaust. Boy, it's noisy. Should be nice and smooth. All right, this is going okay. It's going okay. It's a brand new top link. Yeah. I am going to adjust this. It's a little tweaked. We're going to fix it. My little crescent winch. Oh, this thing is handy as heck. Better. Now then. Yeah. Even stays by itself. I gotta drive this through there. That works. Now then. Got to move these lift arms. Then we're going to see if the tractor will lift the machine. You're going to be in my way. Let's set you over here. We'll restart. See if she'll lift it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I probably want that chain tight right about there. Probably straighten that. Thinking of taking it all the way up so we can have a look underneath. I've not seen underneath this thing. Ready? Take you under and look. Yeah. Blades look good. It's not all beat up. I think we're in good shape. Yeah. Now then, there's a couple things I want to do. I don't like these welds. We're going to grind these up. We're going to re-weld that. Over-weld it. Man. Okay. And then we need to check gearbox. Need to hook drive shaft up. Stuff like that. Let's get to it. Well, I decided to drain the oil out of the gearbox, and I think I got more spilled than I got in the pan. I definitely did. My plan didn't work too good, so anyway, we'll let that kitty litter absorb that oil for a little bit. We'll put the plug back in the bottom, and then we'll put some new 90 weight in it. The other thing, I put the plug back in this pump yesterday. When we were dealing with the hydraulics, and it's leaking around those threads, so evidently that's way under pressure in there, and I need to seal those threads. So let me do that real quick. Here we go. All right, I pulled that plug out. I put some thread sealer tape on it, reinstalled it nice and tight. Still making a mess. I mean, it's still draining, dripping everywhere. It is. It'll finish. I also put some thread sealer on the bottom plug on that gearbox and reinstalled it. So I got some 8590 or something off the shelf, and we're going to refill it. So what was in there I don't think was adequate quantity. I think it was a little short, not horrible, not great. Yeah, not, I mean, it was dirty. So we just as well have drained it. We did. Let's put some new in there. Be nice to it. I don't know what it takes. We're going to fill it till it comes out the plug. This is a full quart. Excuse me. Excuse me. Okay. That's the end of that. This one's about half full. Excuse me. Ooh, there she is. Quart and a half. That's what she takes, quart and a half. Wipe off the plug. done. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up. We gotta grease some things, hook up the drive shaft and stuff. Here we go. Well, I got some of my mess cleaned up. I did get the drive shaft loosened up. I just took it apart, slid it all the way out, which it did fine, then sprayed it with the PB Blaster both sides. Put it back together, run it in and out a bunch of times. It's very, very easy, and then a bunch of the PB Blaster run all over. I have made quite a mess, so we're going to get this outside, clean it up, and then clean up shop floor. So anyway, this is all ready to go. But while we're at, taking care of stuff, everything's pretty well done. We just got to grease it. But that shaft that holds that trail wheel is bent, and it's keeping it from sliding easily up and down. And let's straighten it. Okay, I've got this 4x4, 4x3 actually, wedged in there. I think it's a pretty good lift point. I got the rosebud torch out. We're gonna have to heat that. It's a solid shaft, probably I don't know, 1.125 or something diameter. I'm thinking it's heavy, solid. But yeah, it's just, you can see the bend. It's not cool. So everything else is great on this thing. Oh yeah, we got that thing to fix. But it will be great. We will make the brush hog great. I'm gonna set you up over here, and then we're gonna heat that shaft red hot, and then we're gonna try and straighten it. Okay, so there you are. Are you happy? You happy? Let me put my leather gloves on. I don't normally like to do torch work in shorts, but we'll be careful. We're not cutting anything today. Hopefully. I have really long torch hoses, so I don't have to move my bottles. But it takes a minute to get the air out of the lines, or this thing will work well. But we'll get there. thought it'd be. Just straightened right up. Not bad. First shot. There we go. Rosebuds are amazing heating machines, aren't they? Just didn't take too long. I wouldn't grab that for an hour or so if I were you. Still red hot. Woohoo. Yeah, we'll avoid greasing that for a little while. This is kind of flared out here a little bit at the bottom, but you know, what are you gonna do? It'd be cool if there was like a real compact spring in there or something. You know, like the size of a valve spring or something. Take a little jar and... Okay, we'll let that cool off, put torch away, and then we'll find something else to do. Maybe grind on that weld a minute. Alright, I took a wire wheel to this shaft, and then I took the flapper disc to it to get the ridges and things off of it so it would slide smoothly. And it came out pretty good. Then I took the wire brush to these welds just to get the dirt and rust out of them. I'm going to grind on these a little bit. They are not pretty. They are not strong. And we're going to go, after we grind these down, we'll go over top of them and we'll weld it right. And it'll be wonderful. Here we go. Alright, got them ground down. Let's weld it. It had some penetration. It wasn't as horrible as it appeared, but I don't want to be associated with that one. Guess I better get my hood, not my glasses. Yeah. I need more than my glasses. Better. Woo! Hot. Alright, I'm gonna finish that up. Alright, got that welded, kind of cleaned up a little bit, shot some primer on it, Rust-Oleum. I greased up that wheel, the shaft there. And I think it's time to take this out and see if the whole thing works. The only thing I haven't done is hit the Zerks on the universal joints on the drive shaft with some grease. I'll do that. I'm gonna probably clean that drive shaft up on a future day. So let's fire this up, run it out of here, if something comes apart, I don't want it coming apart in the shop. No, no, no. It out to the grass. Here we go. Got a little power steering. Whoever put that on here was a genius. First to third. Down periscope. Now, PTO. Nice and slow. All right, we're still figuring this thing out. Got the hydraulics going, lifts the big ass heavy mower fine. Now PTO, I haven't got it to spin today. I've had it spinning every day since I've had it for a month. I don't know why it doesn't spin today. I do lift the mower deck and just trying to get it spinning in free air. So I've got two levers here. It's not what the book says, but I think this might have something to do with some live PTO thing. Maybe isn't a factory or something, I don't know. So this lever in this position, you can drive the tractor. In the up position, tractor doesn't drive. It's basically transmission or output shaft is in neutral. This controls the PTO shaft, but I've always been able to move that, but not today. So I've come back and spun. Yeah. Oh, I don't have the tractor lifted, but I've come back here and spun the drive shaft in case I just don't have a gear lined up. And then I still can't move that lever. I don't know why. I've moved it. I think it has 3 positions. I just never knew exactly what it did. Today was the day I was going to figure it out. What am I doing wrong? All right, guys, we zoomed ahead. It's been quite a few days, actually. I got the PTO to function, and I just wanted to show you how I did it. We're not going to hook the machine up. We're not going to hook the mower back up. It's just too hot. I don't have any reason to have it hooked up. But we had it hooked up, but I just couldn't get the PTO to turn because I couldn't get the lever to move. What I ended up doing, there's the lever right there, that little short lever, okay? And I thought, well, maybe this thing just isn't meshing. So I, rotated it. It spun freely, but it still wouldn't go. So I finally thought, let's just tap it with a hammer. So I got just a tiny little ball peen, and I just tap, tap, tap while I pulled on that lever, and it went right in. So it was just some tiny little alignment issue. Nothing moves there. I was thinking maybe the bearing was wore out or something, but maybe it's the opposite. Maybe this thing hasn't used the PTO much, and the gears are fresh, and they're a little tight. But the lever moves back and forth. Now the PTO goes in. I really don't know what its issue was, but here we go. It's just fine. Okay, so that'll end that video. I appreciate you guys watching. Please give it a thumbs up on the way out, and stay tuned for the next video. I've actually got a little surprise. I'm going to film it right now and tag it as a separate video right after this one. Okay, so watch that. It'll be short, but I want to explain something that I've discovered on this machine. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.